first of all, before we get to the TV ad that I want to play the viewers and the listeners, let's talk about Allison Pearson. She is, of course, a very famous columnist on the Daily Telegraph, very good columnist as well, friend of this station, appears often, talks a lot of sense. She, on Remembrance Sunday, had a knock on the door, and there were standing two Essex coppers who warned her that a tweet she posted a year ago, she thinks it might be something to do with Hamas, because that was in the slipstream of the very recent October the 7th atrocity. But they won't actually tell her what it is. But they warned her that you posted something that may be a non-crime hate incident, or maybe worse, it could be a crime. She's saying, well, what was it? Oh, we're not allowed to tell you that. She said, well, you know, why are you here? Well, we just got to tell you all of this. I mean, this is sinister and wrong and an affront to freedom of speech. What the hell do Essex police think they're doing? Wasting taxpayers' money, frankly, knocking on Allison Pearson's door to warn her about a tweet a year ago. I mean, this is awful, and this has got to stop, hasn't it, Isabel?
It's high time that the police started exercising some grown-up discretion when people make ridiculous complaints of this sort. I think it's an absolutely outrageous abuse of taxpayers' money and misuse of police time to be dispatching coppers to the door of a prominent journalist over something she may or may not have said on a social media platform or in a column, but they won't tell her what it is. And they're just there to inform her that she may be in some sort of trouble. This has gone way too far, this. It now smacks of Britain being a police state. It's very clear that it's already having a very, very chilling effect on exercising of free speech by a great deal of us. I mean, I have to say that I also somewhat live in fear of a knock at the door for speaking the truth and being blunt and frank about a few issues. In the last week alone, I've had a campaign against me to have me hauled over the coals for so-called hate crime because I was a little bit clumsy in my choice of wording in a discussion you and I actually had about the abuse of the benefits system. And, you know, at no point have I ever suggested that people who really need the support of the welfare state shouldn't get it. I've always been very clear about that. But the minute that you don't spell that out, you know, somebody comes after you saying that you're guilty of a hate crime. And, you know, next thing you know, if you're Allison Pearson, you've got people knocking at the door. This has gone way, way, way too far. It is not the way a society like ours should operate. You know, at this rate, Britain is going to find itself collapsing down the league table of press freedom across the world. You know, countries are ranked for this kind of thing. And at this rate, we're going to be finding ourselves in the company of various pretty sinister African dictatorships.
Indeed, and it's gone international, Isabel, because Elon Musk has noticed it. The Telegraph, quite rightly, put it all over their front page. So what kind of slightly concerns me about this is, you know, the Essex police knew what they were doing. They knew whose door they were knocking on. They, by extension, they would have known this would have made it big in the paper. It would have gone public. They're clearly proud of this. Elon Musk has said what is going on in Britain, and I think that the Chief Constable of Essex has some serious questions to answer. This is now, and the way our police behave in this manner has become today an international embarrassment. These non-crime hate incidents, the police have been recording them since 2014. Who was it that sanctioned them? That well-known right-winged Conservative Prime Minister David Cameron, of course, you know, the heir to Blair. And since then, do you know how many non-crime hate incidents have been recorded? It's about 250,000. That means that our coppers who say, we haven't got enough people, we haven't got enough man, we need more policemen, we need more policemen to fight crime, are wasting their time recording about 65 non-crime hate incidents every single day. If it's not a crime, what the hell are the police doing messing around with it?
It's absolutely pathetic. What on earth is a non-crime hate incident, and why are we twisting ourselves in endless turns and knots trying to pursue these completely trivial matters? You know, this is playground stuff, isn't it? Oh, you said something that made me feel a bit bad, you know, therefore I'm going to call the police and, you know, accuse you of a hate crime or a non-hate crime or a non-crime hate incident. I have no idea what any of this means, beyond the fact that it means a complete waste of police time. And, you know, honestly, it's not really as if Britain at this point has got the bandwidth for pursuing this sort of thing, when we've actually got a truly appalling problem with violent crime out of control, muggings out of control, stabbings out of control, burglaries out of control. What, and you're going to come after a few well-known journalists for, you know, perfectly balanced arguments or even strong opinion? You know, either way, they're not full of hatred. They're not trying to stir up hatred. They are simply having an adult debate about difficult issues. And if there are certain people in our society that can't handle that, well, really, the resources of the state should not be deployed to pandering to those individuals.
It's a disgrace, and as I say, I think that the Chief Constable of Essex has got some serious questions to answer, and this government, if it's to be any good at all, which is very unlikely, it must crack down on this. This is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's an assault on freedom of speech. I've got to just do some breaking news here, Isabel. A video has been released of Premier League referee David Coote snorting white powder during the Euro 2024's 2024 competition. The suspended Premier League ref David Coote snorts white powder in a shocking video taken while he was officiating at this summer's Euros. In the 8-second WhatsApp film, the under fire VAR specialist is wide-eyed as he uses a rolled-up US banknote to snort a 4-inch line of what appears to be cocaine. Now, I won't ask you to comment on that, but it does quite nicely. That is just breaking news there. We'll bring you more on that as that story develops. But it does tie in nicely to something I did want to mention to you. Thomas Tuchel is the New England manager, hired by the FA. He's got talks coming up now, and he is going to be told by the Football Association that he must appoint an ethnic minority coach in his backroom team as part of a long-running commitment by the FA to diversity and inclusivity. Now, I've got nothing against that in principle, but what I'd really like for Thomas Tuchel to do is to appoint the best man or the best woman for the job so that maybe England could finally win a tournament. Diversity, equality and inclusivity isn't going to win us any tournaments, is it?
Of course it isn't. I mean, this has just gone way too far, hasn't it? I mean, it comes to a point where, you know, people who are not fitting into some of these specially promoted categories begin to feel like they're actually being discriminated against. You know, this is a complete and utter nonsense. Let's employ the best people for the job. And hopefully, if we're getting things right, then, you know, a whole range of people from all backgrounds have the opportunity to apply, and may the best person win. And who cares what, you know, what the colour of their skin is, or, who they like to go to bed with, whatever. Who cares? I don't know. The main thing is that we actually have a winning side, right?
Exactly right. I mean, if this goes on, Tuchel will be told, oh, no, you haven't got enough ethnic people in the England squad and that kind of thing. No, no, no. I'm afraid the arena of sport has to be an arena of excellence. The best people play the sport. The best backroom people manage the sport. It's as simple as that. This is ludicrous. Just to go back to that Premier League ref David Coote, he is, of course, already under suspension, having been caught on camera dissing Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager, in the most unpleasant way, using some very bad four-letter words. So I would say that Premier League referee David Coote, filmed now snorting white powder, is